Welcome to the Dummy Cougar channel, everyone. Today's video is one of the biggest developments that has happened in recent memory for the First Amendment auditor movement. Rogue Nation, self-proclaimed boss of all public employees, has been found guilty on 2 charges stemming from an arrest in Paulding County, Georgia over 2 years ago. Let's take a quick look at the arrest video, followed up by his charges and possible time behind bars.
Hey guys, how's everybody doing? Rogue Nation here with you. We're at the Paulding RSAT Center, which on the map says it's a probation detention. It is raining. It's December 4th. So again, not sure what kind of detention center this is. Maybe a work release type deal. I'm not sure.
I don't know about you guys, but it seems like I would want to know the type of property I'm about to step foot on, as well as the pertinent laws regarding said property. Sometimes we have to learn from our mistakes, and this is a big lesson.
Can I help you, sir?
No, I already told the young man I don't need help.
Well, you got an extra property. You cannot record on state property without permission from the commissioned officer. This time I got to ask you to leave, sir.
I record on state property all the time.
Sir, you're not recording on this property and you can't. So this time we're asking you to leave.
Is there a law?
Yes, sir. State property, you must leave.
What's the law?
Call Paulding County Sheriff's property. You pass the guard line, sir. Do you know what a guard line is?
Yeah, I pass them all the time.
You cannot be here. Please exit.
Does the guard line say that you can't come on the property? No, it doesn't.
We're instructing you to leave.
But you don't have that power. I'm a journalist. I'm allowed to be.
Sir, no, you're not. Not with our permission. And you don't have our permission to be on this state property.
Okay.
We have a suspicious person on state property refusing to leave. Notify Paulding County.
Suspicious person. You did remember me telling you I was a journalist, right?
Sir, you're not complying with our instructions. We ask you to leave our property.
It doesn't matter. Your instructions mean absolutely nothing.
As it turns out, his lawful instructions actually mean the right to remain free or not. I'm also going to say this one more time. Journalists, even pretend ones, do not have special privileges over non-journalists.
Do you have any no trespassing or authorized personnel only signs out there?
Sir, if I walked to your home and came to your house and I stepped on your property and you didn't have no trespassing sign and you tell me to leave and I don't leave, will I be trespassing?
If it's private property, yes. Unfortunately.
We got Paulding County coming. We good.
Yeah, unfortunately, state property is public property.
Okay.
It's different than your house. I'm sure you can appreciate that.
I can appreciate exactly what's going to happen.
Okay. Yeah, being that this has visitor parking and you have signs for visitation, that means the public's allowed in the parking lot. So, under those auspices, it's a public area.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it is open to the public, but it's not a traditional public forum. We still have to abide by the law. Okay, after about 10 more minutes of standing in the rain, the police finally arrive on scene.
What's going on, man?
I'm a journalist just in the area, so I know my rights. I know the guard line. I do this all over the state of Georgia. I know this is a public lobby here, a public parking lot. They have a visitation sign right there for people to pull in and come in to visit the inmates, so I'm well within my rights. Thank you. State property is public property.
Sir, we have no visitors unless they're allowed through. No visitors coming here unless they're allowed.
I'm not trying to come in.
Or his or her designee, or even being on this property.
That's not law.
He is not signed, approved, or anything else to be on this property. He must exit this property.
The First Amendment allows it. There's no restricted access. There's no trespassing signs. There's no due process for anybody walking onto this property that they're not allowed to be here.
I'm not sure if there are any no trespassing signs or not, but Rogue has already been informed, on multiple occasions mind you, by authorized personnel that he isn't welcome. At the beginning of the video, he does film the guard line sign and brushes it off and walks right through.
I do this all over the country. I'm well within my rights.
Well, I mean, I understand that, but what is the actual purpose of coming here?
Well,
Like,
the First Amendment,
nothing here.
the constitutional essence of the right to free press is the right to watch over our public officials and bring their actions to the attention of the citizenry so they can make informed decisions about who's running their county, who's running their state, who's running their city. So again, as they don't have any restricted access signs, no trespassing signs out here, there's no way they can restrict access. And again, visitation sign right there tells us that the public's allowed to pull into this parking lot and come in and visit citizens. Now, they would have
yes,
to...
yes and no.
Okay,
Okay. Yes and no.
okay.
It's a state facility,
Of course it is.
so when they have visitation and visitation is allowed, then visitors can come at that time.
Right.
This happens to be the exact same scenario that got Georgia Transparency and J-Town Press arrested in Savannah, Georgia. They are currently facing the same felony charges. See that video below in the description.
Right, they can come into the facility at that time. There's no sign out here saying visitation only, Sunday 2 to 3 p.m., nobody else allowed in during those
They don't have
times.
to have a sign displaying when visitation is.
Well, it's called due notice, and in law, you have to give that to citizens before you're allowed to tell them they're not
So you're
supposed
here
to
to
be
visit
there.
somebody?
No, absolutely
No, so you're
not.
just out here filming nothing.
Filming my public facility, my public employees, which is the essence of the right to free press.
Okay. So have you got what you needed to film?
No, not yet. I just shown up and they started freaking out. I didn't try to go into any restricted areas. I took some videos of the signs, and that's about as far as I made it.
Well, they're not going to allow you to go in the facility.
I never asked to, and I don't want to. I want to stay where the public's generally allowed to be. Again,
It's not on the property.
The public is generally not allowed to loiter on state prisons, Rogue. The facility has a specific function, and that is to house inmates. It's not to let cameramen roam around on their property. They can limit your First Amendment protected activities on the grounds of this property.
You have ID on you?
no.
You don't have a driver's license?
I don't carry ID unless I'm breaking the law. It's not required in any of the 50 states
It is required.
to carry ID if you're not breaking the law.
It's the law to carry an ID.
If you're driving a
And
motor
present
vehicle,
an ID when asked for.
no, it's not.
Okay.
And
So-
in Georgia, the statute is
so you don't have
if you're
identification.
suspected of committing, have committed, or
So
about
you
to
don't have
commit a crime.
identification?
No.
Here's the name of it.
For what? What crime do you suspect me of?
Because we are out here we've been called out here,
That doesn't
so
matter.
you've been out here. So we, as our policy, have to write a report, okay? We encountered you, so we need your information so we can write this report.
Am I being detained?
No, you're not being detained.
Okay, so it's consensual, so I don't have to give any
Okay,
information.
then you can leave.
If I'm free to leave, I'm free to stay.
As he'll soon find out, he won't be free to go.
I do have my
You're
information.
gonna continue to go around and around, right?
Yeah, I mean, all you have to do is
It's a
tell
state
them.
facility that you've been asked to leave.
I
They
understand
can
that.
refuse to give service to anyone.
I'm not asking for service.
Okay, you're on their property. They've asked you to leave their property. So now that is criminal trespass.
It's
Absolutely.
It's their property.
It is the state's property, correct.
Is that public property or
It is
private property?
State property.
Is it public or private?
It is public to the state, but you have been asked to leave. Whether it's public or private, it does not matter.
Okay.
You have been asked to leave by an employee who works here.
Right. Do you guys have a supervisor?
I do have a supervisor.
Let me speak to him.
You'd like to talk to him?
Yeah, absolutely.
No problem.
Somebody more versed in the law would be
Because
good.
I don't know the law, right?
I'm obviously not. I mean, do you think you can roll up to a city park and just start trespassing people because you're an employee of the city?
The difference between a correctional facility and a city park are miles apart in terms of public forums.
If a city employee asks you to leave and you don't leave, then yes, I can tell you to leave your property.
For no crime being committed.
884 Paul. You start 457 or 233, please.
You've been asked to leave?
Yes. But he says this is public property. He doesn't have to leave. So
This is a correctional facility.
that's correct.
Okay, do you want to leave?
What do you mean a correctional facility?
This is a correctional facility. So at this time, you now are under arrest.
So the charges stemming from this arrest included loitering near convicts after ordered to desist, which happens to be a felony, and also obstruction of officers, which is a misdemeanor. On April 27th of this year, Rogue Nation was found guilty on both charges. I'm not quite sure what the sentence is going to be quite yet, but as soon as I know, I will be updating the story in my community tab. I'd really like to hear everyone's thoughts below in the comments. Will this verdict have any effect on the auditing community? Rogue Nation, as far as I can tell, is seen as one of the leaders in this community and for the most part, looked up to by his peers. I think it'll be interesting to see what this leads to for other 1A auditors. Currently, Rogue actually has 3 pending lawsuits against police departments, and he's allegedly drafting up another one against the town of Easley, South Carolina. Take a look in the description below for where that comes from. When any of these lawsuits reach a conclusion, I will be putting out a video on them. Alright guys, I think we're going to wrap it up here. Thank you everyone for watching today's video. Please remember to subscribe, like, notify, and comment below. This is Dummy Kruger, and I'll see you guys on the next video.